Hey everyone, sorry, just a few minutes late there. Very different kind of live from me today because I'm not in my normal place with my lights and my board and my cameras and everything. I'm actually staying with a friend for a few days, and where I am, it's gorgeously warm and sunny, and I actually struggle to find somewhere to do this because outside it's so bright everywhere. But I got reminded this morning, I hope you saw what I posted earlier. I got reminded this morning about a very important topic, and I just wanted to, it will probably just be 5 minutes talking to you about this. But the friend that I'm staying with, and I do apologize, it's so bright out here. I've got my sunglasses on and I can't see who's popping on. So I apologize. I will say hello to you all later, but thanks for joining. So I'm staying with my friend, and she's a rapid transformation therapist as well. She actually trained with me and she does what I do. She doesn't specialize in trauma, but she does the same therapy. And went into her guest bathroom yesterday when I arrived, and there on the mirror, you probably saw the picture that I posted, and she's actually got written on her mirror, "I am enough." And I thought, what a fantastic reminder. And I thought that I would do this live because the whole "I am enough" is an exercise that I do with my paid clients. And it's very, very powerful for helping you overcome all your doubts and your negative beliefs about yourself and any self-doubt that you have, but also in helping you focus on your self-respect and the respect that you want and need from other people. So let me tell you how this works. So I am enough. What I want you to do for the exercise, this is what I ask people to do, and it starts out, they think it's weird, but then I tell them exactly what to do and it all makes sense. Just as you saw the post that I posted and it says "I am enough" and it's written on the mirror, that is exactly what I want you to do. This is your story to yourself. Most of us, almost every human being on the planet, has so many negative stories going on about what we're not, what we can't do, what we don't do, the characteristics we don't have, the skills we don't have. Honestly, we are all our own harshest critic. You would never be friends with someone who criticizes you and is as harsh and lacking in compassion about you as you are to yourself. Now think about that. You are your own harshest critic. And what I want you to do is to change that. I want you to become your own raving fan, because this is about loving yourself. And the reason it's important to love yourself is when you, and this isn't doing it in an egotistical way, okay? This isn't, "Hey, look at me, I'm so great, I'm amazing." It's just you feeling that and you knowing that, because then everything that you do in your life comes from a place of inner happiness and security rather than fear and neediness. And you can see that thoughts and actions motivated by those two totally different things become totally different thoughts and actions. So it's really important that you move yourself to the place where you are your own greatest fan. You are a cheerleader for yourself. And I'm sorry I can't read that. I will read it later though and comment. So this is what you need to do. And as I say, you need to take the ego aside, but learn to love yourself. And there are various exercises, and I'm going to go through another one tomorrow with you. But for now, I want you, you see, the mind learns by repetition. And what your mind has learned by repetition is everything that you tell it. All the negative things that you tell it about yourself, the things that you listen to that other people say, the things that you take on board, and without question, you take all of this in and it becomes how you think about yourself. So we're going to turn that on its head, and I want you, on your mirrors at home, in lipstick, just like Morven has done, just like the mirror I showed you, I want you to write "I am enough" with that love heart. Why on the mirrors? Because you and other people, you look at them all the time. We all catch glimpses of ourselves as we walk past the mirror. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I walked into that guest bathroom yesterday and I saw that on the mirror, I just thought, what a great reminder, because then any guest that goes in there gets that message too. Okay, but it doesn't stop with the mirrors. So you can write, I am enough, you are enough, we are enough, because this is not just about you. This is about the people that you share your life with. But why stop at the mirrors? So what you can do, you can take pieces of paper, A4 pieces of paper, A5s, post-it notes, whatever, and just write on them, I am enough, you are enough, we are enough, and put them in prominent places where you are going to see them all day, every day, by the kettle, on the fridge, on your laptop, in your handbag, on your car seat, on your car windscreen, wherever you are going to see them. But the important thing is that other people see them too, because when people see this, they are going to ask you about it and say, what does that mean? What do you mean I am enough? And this is your opportunity to reinforce to yourself and to them that you absolutely, definitely, and certainly are enough. You always have been and you always will be. You just don't know it yet. You know it deep within. You're just not living it. You're just not being it. You're just not speaking it. You're not letting your thoughts and your words and your actions come from that place of absolutely knowing that you are enough. And it's a wonderful, wonderful place to be, because it stops you needing other people. There's a very, very big difference between wanting other people, being interested in what it looks like if someone else is in your life or if they help you with something, or being interested if you do a trip with someone. What the problem with relationships is, if you go into a relationship and you don't feel that you are enough, you constantly need someone else to approve of you. Someone else to tell you great things about yourself, because you're not telling yourself. You need someone else to constantly take over, someone else to be in charge, because you don't trust yourself to make great decisions for yourself. When you go into a relationship feeling those things, what happens is you show up as needy. You go into a relationship needy. And what happens when you're in a relationship and you're needy? Two things happen. It isn't possible to have a healthy relationship when you are needy. And let me tell you why. Number one, when you show up constantly needy, that is very, very hard work for someone else. No one goes into a relationship wanting someone that is a project, wanting someone that they've got to try and work and change, and that they've got to constantly pacify and encourage and support. We all want to do those things, but not constantly, not continuously. Continuous reassurance of someone else is incredibly draining. And no one can be everything to one person. No one. So what happens is the person who's needy ends up not getting what they need, because the other person just cannot give it. They can't give it enough. They can't give it continuously without it being at extreme expense to themselves. So then the relationship falls apart and you've got two hurt and damaged people. Otherwise, what happens is, if you go into a relationship and you're very needy, you attract the wrong kind of person. The person who, instead of realizing that you're vulnerable and trying to support you in that, actually tries to take advantage of that. And that is where you end up with narcissistic, very unhealthy, manipulative and controlling relationships. And this is absolutely why it's important in every aspect of your life to know that you are enough. Because the key aspects of someone's life are normally their relationships, which are huge. Then there's their career and their business and money. Okay? And when you know that you are enough, you don't need me to tell you this. Let's have a think about this. So if you don't know that you're enough, and you're constantly looking to other people for your approval. It means that you're not very good at taking criticism. You try and avoid conflict. So you're constantly shying away, keeping yourself small, and putting yourself down and holding back. So what do you think that does to your career? It means that you cannot possibly attain your potential because you've set yourself a potential limit that is way, way lower than everything that you are truly capable of achieving. But you hold yourself back. Literally, you are the person that is in your own way. And this is why it is absolutely, I cannot say this enough, it is vital that in your life you learn to love yourself. Now, this exercise that I've just given you, the I am enough, is great because it's a catalyst. It's a catalyst, and I want you to do it even if you're at the stage where you almost loathe yourself. And I understand, believe me, I've been through this myself. Okay, I've had my own traumas, I've done the work, I've overcome them. I know what it feels like to loathe yourself and to feel that you are worthless. And I also know what it feels like when that leads to these very unhealthy relationships. So, what the I am enough does, even if you don't feel it yet, if you write it down, it causes you to question. So write down the I am enough. And then be honest with yourself and say, actually, that sounds great, but that's not where I'm at. There is nothing wrong with negative thoughts. Nothing wrong. I want you to be honest about this. Okay, so have a look at the I am enough, and it will probably trigger you. Why on earth have I written that when I don't believe it? So here's your next step. Why don't I believe it? Why don't I believe in myself? What has happened to cause me not to believe in myself? Who has caused me to? What have I done? What have people said? What are the results that I've got? And start to question. This is where healing starts, because what you will see when you start to question this, as I say, don't avoid the negative thoughts. Let the negative thoughts come, but challenge them. They're not your thoughts. That they are what you were taught about yourself by someone else. And I want you to start challenging. I want you to start challenging this whole concept of this lack of belief in yourself. And believe me, just this exercise, when you stop to question and you say, where did that thought come from? Why do I need someone else's approval? Because let me tell you, the only person who needs to approve of you is you. When you are setting yourself high boundaries and living to great values and ethics, and someone else doesn't approve of you, it doesn't matter. It really, honestly, it doesn't matter. I was sharing with someone just earlier today how all of us in life, we are all going to have the people that don't believe in us, that are trying to put us down. I have haters online, people who just do not accept the work that I do. They don't understand the results that I can get. They tell me it's ridiculous when it will take a psychologist years. How dare I claim that I can do this in 12 weeks and things like this, even though that's what my client testimonies say. But I have to rise above all of that. I cannot afford for those people to be putting me down, to be affecting me. So I don't. And as soon as those things come at me, I just dismiss them, because I know that they're just people. I know they're coming from a place of ignorance, a lack of understanding. They're coming from a place of their own lack of worth, their own lack of ability sometimes, if it's other therapists who can't do what I can do. Do you understand what I'm saying? You've got to be able to stand firm in who you are. Believe in yourself. Love who you are. Question what makes you not do that. Question everything that makes you not do that, and you will be a completely different person and will totally transform your life when you understand that you are enough. Because it means that the other things that negative people say, if you're going to question your own thoughts, feelings and beliefs about yourself, you're going to question other people's. So, you know, sometimes I'll see posts online, or sometimes people will post in my group and say, oh, my family are all saying this about me and it makes me feel terrible. Well, when you really, really believe in yourself, it won't make you feel terrible, because what you'll do, you'll look at what they're saying or what they're trying to get you to do or not to do or trying to make you believe, and you'll ask yourself, why? Why are they saying that? What is their motive? How are they expecting me to feel? Why are they doing that to me? And you know what? Once you stand firm in who you are, you will take that step further. Another thing, I'm going to give you this, another thing I teach my clients to do is to ask the right questions. So when someone says something to me that I feel might be, its intention might be negative. So it might be designed to make me feel less, to put me down, to diminish me. So what I do, I actually ask that person about that motive, as if it hasn't affected me at all, because it doesn't affect me. It doesn't. I don't care. I know that I am right for the right people. I know that you are right for the right people, and you just have to know that and stand firm. And here's what you can do. When you see, the things that people say to us and do can only affect us if we let them, if we take them on board, which we do when we are not certain of ourselves, when we have low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and we're not certain of our worth. When you are certain of your worth, people can't attack you in a real way, because you will reject it. And one of the great ways to reject it is to ask someone, what was your motivation? So if someone says something to you that you know is intended to hurt you, to control you, to manipulate you, to throw you off balance, all these negative things, the best thing that you can do to have absolute control is to actually say to them, oh, that's interesting. Why did you say that? Because then they have to think. Okay, so you can say it another way. So, oh, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying. So what is your motive for what you just said to me? And guys, this is the kind of power, the kind of control that you can assume in any and every situation with anyone when you know that you are enough. So think about what I've said. Please work on this. Please do this amazing I am enough exercise. Do it for yourself. Do it for your family, and don't be embarrassed. Put this stuff everywhere. Have it in big on your mirrors. Have it where other people can see it. You know, have it on your computer at work. Who cares what other people think? Anyone who thinks anything negative or says or does anything negative about this, remember they are motivated by their own insecurities, their own sense of lack. It's challenging for them. Suddenly you are doing something. Here's you saying, I am enough. And when they say, oh God, what on earth do you mean by that? You can just, well, yeah, I do know that I'm enough. Sure, I'm affirming it to myself, you know, and just be strong, be firm. And honestly, you will be amazed at how great you start to feel, how it fills you with self-confidence and self-esteem. When you understand that anyone that has a negative reaction to this at all is coming from a place of their own lack and not a positive motivation. So you don't need to worry about them. Because why do you need to worry about the opinion of someone who clearly doesn't value themselves? So you're moving ahead. That's what you need to understand. In doing this exercise, you're moving ahead. And yes, people will say and do things, and it's irrelevant, absolutely irrelevant, because if you are doing this as a positive thing for yourself, then the people that love you, care about you, etc., they're not going to have anything negative to say, are they? They might ask you why, they might ask you what it means, why you're doing it, but anyone who cares about you and only wants the best for you is probably going to join in, and you can invite them to join in. And that's what I would do. Just invite anyone and everyone you know to join in with this. You can be honest and open. Tell them why you're doing it. Say, hey, look, I'm learning to love myself because I know that that's where I'm going to reach my best potential. I know that's where I'm going to get the best results. I haven't done this so far and I'm starting now. Do you want to join me? Do you want to do this too? Let's do this together. Just turn it into a really positive thing. And I'm going to take this a step further tomorrow, and I'm going to show you, it's an exercise based on 6 words that I'm going to show you tomorrow when I'm back at my board with my lights and everything, because it's funny, I can see it all now. The 6 words are already written up on the board. I just don't happen to be there today to do it for you. But I thought rather than give you nothing, I gave you this very, very informal. I'm sitting here in my dungarees and my t-shirt at my friend's house, but I think the content is gold. And if you put in place what I've said to you today, it will take you a long way. And just this exercise can lead to a very, very powerful shift in how you see yourself. Remember, the mind works by repetition, so don't expect to, to have a result in 2 days, but just leave them up there. Keep saying to yourself and keep challenging those negative thoughts, asking yourself, where did that come from? Why do I think that about myself? What can I change it to? How do I get rid of it? And just work on switching all these negatives to positives. And honestly, in a few months, you absolutely won't know yourself. Okay, so, well, I enjoyed bringing that to you from this, very informal setting. And I'm going to leave that with you, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in. It's great to see you. See you again, guys. Bye.